All right. So, I've got the title of this video. When times get tough, never give up. And it's been a little while since I've streamed, and I usually I stream video games and stuff like that. So this is kind of just a little different. Um, what's up, Angie? Uh, I just I couldn't sleep tonight, and I thought that you know instead of drinking a beer or doing something that would be negative, I'm trying to do something positive. So the whole reason for this video is me and my wife we're splitting up, and it's kind of hard on me, um, even though even though it's what needs to happen. We've been dealing with some stuff personally back and forth, fighting and whatnot, saying bad things to each other, and not bringing the best out of each other, not bringing being the best for each other. And I just wanted to. No, it's cool, Angie. It's cool. Thank you for being sorry. But no, don't be sorry. I'm realizing that things like this happen a lot. I mean, not all the time, but it seems to be a common thing in America where couples get divorced, or they don't know how to work through hard times, or they're just tired of each other, or whatever it is. But I just kind of wanted to open up online, live, and I wanted to, maybe look back at this video 6 months from now and see where I've come and grown from the whole process of walking away from a 10-year marriage. We've got a kid together. We shared my other daughter. What's up, Tim? Oh yeah, dude. I know, man. Tim's. You've always been there, man. You've always been there. I know that for sure. But I just thought that it would be good to record, myself and these feelings, because I don't want to forget them. I want to remember. That's tough, Angie. 6 years. It's tough. It seriously is a lot to. It's a lot to deal with. You put a lot of work in, and maybe sometimes maybe we expect too much. Maybe, maybe I felt entitled or something. Maybe I felt like. Maybe I took advantage. At certain times. I just want to kind of own, what I did wrong. I'm not going to speak for the other half because, she's not even here, but I don't think it's right to speak for the other half. Angie, he got over me in a week, then his rebound, and we're in love, and she cheated, and now he's more upset over that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do from this whole situation. I want to grow from it and hopefully become a better person. And I want to record myself, and I want to see these feelings. I don't want to just feel them. I want to see them, and I want to learn from it. And like I said, a couple months from now, I want to reflect back on this video and see how far along I've come and how far along I'm going, because I think it's important to focus on the ups as much as that it's important to focus on the downs. And in life, sometimes you don't get the best luck, if you want to call it, or you don't get the best wisdom, you don't get the best attention. But like Angie said, like you said right now, my goal is to come out of this a better person, because if I don't, it's almost like I'm letting myself down in the sense where I spent so much time and I didn't learn anything from it. I mean, it. I could talk about what was wrong and what was right, but I think in the end, what's really important is that we're both happy, or happier. And it's just so crazy how sometimes you think in life, it's always gonna be I don't know. It's always going to be ups and downs, and how you pick yourself back up. And I feel like making a little vulnerable video about myself might be good, in the sense that I can learn something from my mistakes, the choices I made, and the people I put myself around. Oh, Angie says, you're not a bad person, but you are defined by who you are with someone you loved. This is a really good message to us all, she says. Yeah, Be at peace, being free. I just, Tim, do you, bro? I got your back. You're the man, Tim. You always have been, bro. You've always been a smart mother. A smart mother. But I figured, instead of sleeping with my eyes open tonight, just sit here and just talk about what it feels like. It's like so heavy. Like, I don't know. So I hear a lot of people talk about the soul. You've got your mind, you've got your body, you've got your heart, and then you've got this soul in the center of your chest. And I feel this, it's like so heavy. You can feel your heartbeat. Your mind keeps going and going about, should I do this, or should I have done that, or it just keeps unwinding and unwinding, and it's important to just, like, I'm focusing right now on, like, realize what's happened, take control of the things that you can take control of, and the things you don't have control of, like, let the wind blow it around. But the feelings are just so amazing. It's just, because I don't feel this very often. That's kind of why I think it's important for me to document this. I don't get to feel this heavy feeling, Angie. Be grateful for the time you had. Oh, definitely, Be grateful about it not working out, because the only way forward is to let go. Definitely. And time is the only thing. I've always been a person who's like, I want it now, and give it to me now, and it's got to get done now, and today, and this is what it's got to be now. And in this process, it's so crazy that it takes so much time. I don't know if it's going to take 6 months, a year. I mean, the older you get, maybe the more memories you have, so maybe it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, it's definitely some crazy feelings that I'm trying to embrace, even though they're like sad feelings, or mad feelings, or whatever they are. I'm just trying to embrace them, because, like I said, I don't get to feel 10 years of work, and then it falling apart. So it's great to be able to reflect on those feelings, and just and just see, what kind of a person one can be, I can be after all of it's said and done. Like, don't give up, just think about yourself, take care of yourself. I keep telling myself that, which is, it's pretty easy. I'm kind of a selfish person, so, but, having kids together, we only had one kid. I'm thankful for that, because had we had more, it'd probably be a worse or a more hard situation for the kids, and not just both the parents. And it's really wild. It's really wild that that we have these beautiful feelings inside, and even the negative ones, they're still beautiful. They're precious, like, it takes something so big to feel them. And Tim says, you can never live in the past. Definitely not, I think every moment is the future. Time machines don't exist. But like Angie says, is to move forward and learn from it, so history doesn't repeat itself. I can't disagree with that at all. I can't disagree with that at all. I hope that maybe this video, somebody would edit it, and take some pinpoints from it, and encourage other people that are going through the situation or have gone through the situation. I hope that it can. I hope that other people can learn from it. When you're married and you're saying these nasty things to each other, and you think, you think it's gonna be okay because you apologize later, and then. It's you got to be careful on how you treat each other. You got to be careful on how you respect one another. It's like this delicate, I don't even want to say system. It's like a delicate energy, and it takes so much constant work. It's so important to always stay focused on working to build a stronger, healthy, relationship. And but at the same time, when it gets so nasty, it's okay to let it go. Call Rihanna, because I got you under my umbrella. I'm glad I'm not crying, man, about it, and you need that umbrella. I haven't cried about it yet. That's what's crazy, Angie's like, we just want connection, and when we get complacent and take the other for granted, that's rookie stuff. But sometimes you aren't in the best version of you when you entered it. It's crazy. I thought about that, when we first met each other. I was telling Tim this. I was actually living at Tim's house. Timmy Two Turnt. I was living at Timmy's house when I met this woman, and he let me stay in his bedroom, one of his bedrooms in his house. And my oldest daughter, she was sleeping on couch cushions in the room, and when we met, her parents were going through a divorce. She was living out of her truck, basically, and I had just broken up with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we split everything. I just took off and said, I'm out of here. There was some personal things there. She cheated on me, so I left her, and then I was living with Tim, and I met her, and we kind of we were both in this situation where we needed a place to live. We needed a support system, because we almost felt alone. But I was living at my best friend's house. He was completely cool with letting me waste his water and cook on his stove, so I had a great surrounding. I had friends, and but at the same time, when we met each other, we were like needing someone to use to get to a place where we needed or wanted to be. We wanted, our own place and maybe some cars, or I don't know what we were thinking, but we couldn't be happy just staying at Tim's house. And I mean, he didn't even make me pay rent, dude. You didn't even make me pay rent, bro. Like, how often does that happen? You got a friend who's like, here's a room, use me because I love you, and I'll never forget that, ever. And then I meet this girl, and she moves in, and he's like, it's cool, man, like, the more the merrier. But we weren't in a good place when we met each other. And I mean, I think we started living together like weeks after we had met. And it went quick, we didn't become friends. We didn't get to know each other. We just, fell in love, and went headstrong into this relationship. And it was hell from the beginning. Like, we would fight, I would see her looking up like ex-boyfriends, and she would call me jealous, but I would get like really insecure. Like, what is this? Who did I meet? What am I doing here? Like, what, what is going on? Is it me? Or, so it started off by us needing someone. And then it came into this, like, you pay this, I pay this. So it was a lot about money and a lot about, it was a lot about, I guess it was a lot about just, we were both in a bad spot. And I'm not saying Tim's house was the bad spot, because that was like the best spot we could have been in. But we were both coming out of a bad situation, and we both needed someone to be there. It's about blame. No, because I don't blame her for anything, Like, I remember when she first met me, she didn't know I smoked, and I would like run away and go hide and smoke and do these, like, it was dishonest stuff. And she would, like, she was a secret shopper. She has a shopping problem. She had a shopping problem, and I didn't even realize that at the time. She had a closet full of brand new clothes with tags on them, and it was crazy. I didn't realize, what we were doing when we first met each other. Tim, you little ghetto. Yo, dude, I'll never, man. That was a great time in my life. But I had left one relationship, and like 2 weeks later, I found myself in this other relationship, and we were both, like I said, needing, things from one another. Wanting things. I guess we didn't need for anything. We wanted these things. And yeah, it just stemmed from there. And then 10 years later, we're fighting every day, yelling at each other, calling each other, these like the worst, calling each other names, hating each other's family members, just turned into like monsters, like two dragons blowing fire at each other, and we're like, who's gonna burn first, and who's the first one that's gonna cry, and who's gonna hurt who so the other one can feel better. And it was just, it got so bad. And then I just was like, I asked her to leave, and she did. And in the past, when I've said, you gotta go, you gotta leave, it's time for you to leave, it's time for you to go, we were just, I didn't think she would, but I mean, maybe she should have, because it was It was that bad. So this last time I asked her to leave, yeah, it's true. I did like I would I would sleep on the couch. That's a hobby for me. No, I it's true though. I just I wish that, like, and there's no going back, right? I wish that, she never gamed, off subject. She never gamed until Animal Crossing, Angie. It's crazy. And then she kind of fell in love with the game, like a lot of other people, and she still plays it today like crazy, and so we did have something in common, but as far as like common, that was it. We met in a restaurant. Um, I swear to God, I hated when she watched that Housewives of Beverly Hills or Housewives of freaking Chicago. I hated that. I just couldn't stand it. Like, so I mean, there was like nothing we had in common. Like, we we didn't watch movies together. Um, I like, action movies, and she likes like uh like more girly movies, I guess. She doesn't really watch movies because she's always tired all the time and would like fall asleep when she's watching movies. So it felt like a family. It felt like it felt like we were working to keep a family together, and we had to keep it together because that's what it was about. It was about, we've got dogs and we've got kids. We need to stay together. But I think the last time when I said, you gotta go, I think it had just gone so far the other direction. We weren't showing our kids love because, it was a family. It was more um like a competition. It got to be like a competition, like a game. It got to be like, well, I'm doing this and you're not doing this, and, well, I'm not going to do this cuz you're not doing this. Or it got so out of control. It got so far. It got so far, like, I don't know. It got so far out of control that I think hurting each other was more important than loving each other. And I'll always say, they're the wealthiest man alive or the wealthiest woman alive. They got all this money, and what's the one thing you can give them? You can't buy them this thing. It's love. And I believe that you have to remember to always show that love, even when it's hard, even when you're sad. You have to remember that not to give up, and love is what some people would call, the strongest emotion. I'd say it's a lot stronger than the hurt, because the hurt will go. It'll take off. The hurt will go bye bye, but that love that was there, that'll be there for a long time. It's not. Angie says, "Do you know your worth outside the marriage?" Oh yeah. I mean, ethically and morally, my mother raised me beautifully. Uh, she taught me, you know, how to be kind to people. She taught me, my father passed away when I was young, so it was a lot of just my mother being there, and she taught me that, you're a great person, don't lie, uh, don't cheat, work hard, be responsible, love, so knowing my own worth, I mean, I feel pretty strong about myself. I definitely feel strong about myself in knowing, who I am and what I want, and what I'm worth, not like monetarily, but I mean respectfully and honorably. Like, I definitely know that I'm a great father. Like, I'm the best father out there. No. um I'm the manager in the park we live in, and I try to treat these people that I live around, like, I don't work, for you, I work under you, and whatever you need, ask me, and if I can do it, I'd love to be there for anybody. And yeah, so I definitely love myself, and I respect myself to the fullest. I don't uh I don't stare in the mirror though, like I try not to be what's the word? I try not to be I try to be confident and not um like stuck up, or I forget the word I'm looking for. It's not clicking in my head right now. It's not there. But I don't know. Conceited. Thank you. Self-loat, both. I don't self-loat for sure, but yeah, conceited is the word I was looking for. Yeah, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I just think that I'm the best me that I can be. And that's kind of what I strive for every day, eat as healthy as I can, even if it's fast food, or go to the gym, uh, brush my teeth, things like that. But the pain, the pain is crazy. When I go to the gym, I'm hurting myself definitely sometimes, because it's tough lifting up a bunch of weight, and I try to compare that pain to this, and it's like it's not even close. It's not even like a physical versus an emotional pain. It's wild how it's just wild how strong it is. You can. Angie says every one of us has this pain. We've all had this feeling, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the only thing that can heal it is time, so. Stay focused. Angie says, I threw up. I didn't eat food for days. Survived on protein shakes. That's something I force fed through a tube. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just interesting how strong the human body is, how a computer could never feel this, or a fish, I guess. Maybe a fish can feel this kind of pain. I wonder if they do. Or monkeys, or it's probably it's probably different. It's crazy. Life is crazy. You go out to fly a kite and the wind shuts off. Small things to a giant, my dude. It's hard being that legendary. Angie says, I've had 2 other relationships since. I've given fresh starts and chances because the guys saw my spirit rise. I smiled, I healed, and then fell apart so fast again. Are you in a relationship right now, Angie? Are you, I know you were dating that pool guy and you guys were having a blast in those pool competitions. She says, I'm still standing because of today. Because of today is my last day. I will beg for the day I could breathe normal, painless breathe. I'm not dying right now. My kid is here. I have a place to live. Gosh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I am very sorry to hear that. So did you hurt when? How long were you guys together in your last relationship? How long were you? How long were you able to be together and share this beautiful time on earth called life? It's crazy. 6 months. And you're better off, eh? What'd you learn from the last relationship? What advice could you give me? I mean, I've been hearing a lot of this, just do you, and it's like, you know what, whatever. I already do that. It doesn't matter. You don't have to tell me. He was at a 6-year marriage and started a 5-month separation. That's crazy. Yeah, marriage is tough. It really is. It's got a lot of risky things. Here's the thing, Angie. Here's the thing, huh? Here's what thing, Angie? What'd you learn? I think in the end I learned to respect yourself more. He wanted all I was to begin with because it felt free and fresh and new. But the key word is but. Yeah, there's that honeymoon lasts for a couple of months, and then after that, you get to see people's real colors, you know, what upsets them and what makes them happy, and you get to see the real true feelings, the real sauciness. Don't make me pop the trunk on you. I remember when I used to drive around with a shotgun in my trunk just because of that song. He needed a break from being connected. He would risk my freedom. He brought drugs besides weed in my car. He did some other drugs. And he coped all the time instead of being blessed, instead of being happy. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly why I'm doing this, because I don't want to do that. And that's crazy. I could have lost my freedom and my kid. Yeah, you know, it's so crazy. So we've been split up for a week now, and she already has a new boyfriend, right? Which is it's kind of the reason why we split up. But this guy has 4 DV charges on minors, and she expects our daughter to go over there around this guy who's you know, he's and you know, and he likes to intimidate other people. He likes to threaten other people. You know, it makes him feel strong and tough. So it's like I'm going through this not the same situation, but a situation where I've got to be careful with our daughter and what she's exposed to now, because she's going to be around other people, and it's just like this risky situation, all because of our choices and decisions. Now it affects the younger one. So you say, Tim, he's a pooper scooper. Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna talk ish about this dude because I really don't want to waste the energy. I honestly don't care. Besides the fact that she tried to play me a little bit, you know. Yeah, it is a total wreck. Yeah. Yeah. How long do you think it takes to heal? I'd like to know that. Does it depend on the time, or you think? Because I remember being in high school and being in love, and like I'd break up and I'd be so sad for like, no more than a year, because after that my memory, I can't remember her butt when she's naked, and it just doesn't click anymore to me. It's just not there anymore. Yeah. I wonder how long I'm expecting like a couple of months. Till I'm just like, because it's not even a fact of like I love you, come back. It's a fact of like disappointed. Like, really? Like 10 years to get to here? We drove a car off a cliff. Like, we completely failed as a team. I watched him make out with her, spend all his money on her, gave her a version of him I never got. Yeah, it's yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy. And I'll be completely honest. I was faithful our whole marriage. You said it's not a reflection of you. Well, I mean, Angie, you said it's not a reflection of you, but you did say those people you date, are a reflection of, your choices. I can't believe that. Definitely. Oh yeah, like, I mean, I'm still able to laugh at the dinner table with my girls for sure. Definitely. Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. They don't define you. True that. Interesting. You are not us. They are them. Yeah, it's. Now we're starting to get all philosophical here. How long? I think the stronger. No, I don't think it has to do with strength. I think the more mental confidence you have, the more stable you are in your brain, the faster you can cope with things, and then just kind of, like you said, move forward. Like you said, Tim, don't live in the past. That's something I definitely am not going to do. I don't want to do that. I mean, it's. I just want to make sure that a couple of months from now, when I re-look at this video and remember the pain that was in my little chest, my soul or my heart, I want to remember that pain. I want to remember what it's like to not be the best you, so that, instead of stepping on somebody else, maybe I can just step up on myself and say, that was me there. This is me here. Because I don't feel low, I'm not like depressed or anything. Like, oh gosh, I don't know how to function. I don't know what to do here. It's more just like, what the hell were we doing for so long? How come we didn't learn from the mistakes earlier? Angie says, I remind myself every little thing that's good is still there. Yeah. Bones aren't broken. I'm not paralyzed. I woke up just one day, and didn't cry. Smiled because I was good being just me again. You know what? That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Because don't get me wrong, I'm totally holding it together for my kids, for sure. That's not even a question. There's no if, ands, or buts about that. I just wanna focus on my feelings, I wanna, like I said, I wanna feel this feeling. Instead of oh, it hurts, like, oh, what am I gonna do? Or thinking about things that are just not real. I want to focus on it and think about it and eat it up, eat it for breakfast, and say, you know what? Yeah, it shall pass. It's gonna be good. And I like all the ups, because it comes with downs. Someone who can't see that is losing out, says Angie. True that. We got duct tape to hold this family together. It's not going anywhere, says Tim. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I seriously was just like tossing and turning and listening to my heart go. And I'm thinking, damn. I'm like, just listen to your breathing. And all I can hear is. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm laying down. I'm in my comfortable bed. I got this little crazy dog sleeping next to me. A little mutt. I hate him. And he farts in my face, and I'm just like, duh, it's nasty. I've got my TV on. Everything's good. Everything's where it's supposed to be. My purpose is there. And I'm still thinking, like, it's not even about money either. It's crazy. You got some puppies too, Angie? It's not about being alone. I think these feelings are like, I think what I'm going to learn from this situation is, when it's bad, don't drag it on. Like, when it's bad, just throw in the towel. No. I'm talking about when it's so toxic. It's time to just take a step back and reflect and remember what you're doing, why you're there, what just remember, like you said, remember what you're worth. It's Start streaming scary stories, Tim says. No, don't. I won't watch, Angie. Angie says, when it's bad, remember why it's better to have quit than to be bad towards someone else and call it love. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That's so true. And it's not about like not putting in the effort or not giving up, but it's like a respect thing. If it's not there, it's not ever going to be there. It's not ever going to be there. So my wife's father, he passed away about a month ago. He committed suicide, and he was living with us the day it happened. And I told my wife, before he did this, I told my wife, I said, your dad's got to go. I don't want him here. He's, and this was, he had been living with us for a couple of days, and I said, yeah, her dad had moved in for a couple of days. And we had gotten into like an argument in the past, and he called me a bitch and was like, just stupid name calling, lack of respect though. And I was like, I don't want this guy here. Get him out of my house. And she tells me, I need to help him. I got to help my dad. And I'm thinking like, the guy's got a vehicle, he's got jobs, he's got houses. I didn't know what kind of help she was talking about. And I was like, tell him to go live in one of his 2 houses on his 40 acres. And like, what? Tell him to go home. Tell him to go back to work and start moving forward. Don't baby him. And so then he goes and he shoots himself, right? And she like blames me for it. She tells me, you were rude to my dad, and I never said anything to her father while he was living with us. I only told her how I felt, out of respect, because, I'm honest, maybe too honest. And yeah, I didn't expect that, to happen. Nobody expected it. And this was like a month ago. And she basically, after that happened, she kind of just gave up, She would come home and just sleep all the time, and I understand, she's dealing with her father's death, and that's something I will never get a chance to feel. My mother, when she passes, I'll be able to mourn that death, but I don't know what she's going through or what she went through or what she's going to be going through. All I know is that she got really upset and started blaming, and she just, yeah. So that's what I heard too, Angie. You say she needed a scapegoat. And it was messy before that. You're right too, Tim. It was really messy before that. But she was messing around before that. No, I don't even know. I don't even, whatever she's got to do right now to make herself happy, I hope she does it. I don't care what it is. But still, that whole month was just like, it was bad. It got even more worse. Oh, hell yeah, it was an easy target. It was just, it was my fault, because I didn't help her. Because I said bad things about him to her right before it happened. It was my fault. you know. And I can never change my feelings. You know, I still feel the same way today as I did then. Oh, my girls are great. They weren't that close to him, surprisingly. He lived in Mexico. He had a wife and a family in Mexico. And so my kids really weren't that close to him. Like they cried a little bit about it. We didn't tell them the whole situation because they're both young. But I mean, they weren't mourning, you know, and I think that was kind of upsetting for my ex-wife also. You know, she thinks that we're all just moving forward because we don't care, but I mean, he wasn't. You know, he helped me get some stuff done around this house. He did. Helped me get electricity, helped me with the water. The man helped me, you know. I looked up to him as a father. Like, I wanted to call him dad so bad. And then one time we got into this argument because he was coming over to my house drunk and trying to do things around my house. And I was like, dude, you know, I just want to hire somebody and get this done. And he calls me a name, and it was never the same after that. Like, he lost respect for me because I acted like a bitch, he says. And I lost respect for him because, you know, code of honor in the man's world. And I'm not talking about these young kids today. I'm talking about men who say things and then do things, you know. They don't just talk about it. They're walking miles. They're doing amazing things as men. And so after that incident, we were never the same after it, you know. I was, of course, nice to him because it was my ex-wife's dad and blah, 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 blah. But, you know, before that happened, like Tim said, I mean, we were, you know, I had kicked her out of the house a couple Thanksgivings ago. Like, it got to the point where we were fighting, and I was like, you know, you gotta go. Of course, the whole you gotta go thing always comes from when we moved here. The choice of us moving here was based off of my disability. The house was given to us because I was disabled, and I was going to be living here forever. I knew it. You know, there was no, I'm going to move one day. And yeah, he did. Yeah, he did overstep my, you know, but, you know, he thought he had these rights. My mom comes in sometimes like that too. Like, they got these mother-father rights. Like, even though we're grown up, they're still mom and dad, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, he did. And I mean, it caused some tribulations in the rest of my time. It caused problems. She wanted to side with him, and I was like, you know, whatever, it's your dad, but it was just siding with wrong, and that to me was just like, whatever. Like, there's got to be some righteousness in your choices, and I'm not trying to blame her for anything, but just saying what happened. She thought it was okay what he was doing, and I was like, no. I was just telling Tim this earlier. What took him 12 days took a plumber 2 hours when I called the plumber. It was crazy. And I was paying him too, you know. It wasn't like something I was like, hey, come over here, Grandpa, and do this work for free, you know. I'm looking for a handout, man. Come over here. I don't want to do it myself. There were some things that were a little far beyond my skill set, definitely. I wasn't too ashamed to reach out to another man and say, hey, you know, can you teach me how to do this stuff, please? And for almost 2 weeks, man, it went on and on and on and on. And then finally I told her, I was like, I'm calling a plumber. And she's like, no, you're going to hurt my dad's feelings. And I was, yeah, that was that. That was years ago, though, I think maybe a year ago or something. But I remember, like, when we left Tim's and we had our first apartment, we fought a little bit there. You know, it was never smooth off the beginning. It was, you know, we would fight about things. She kind of like, she kind of liked to look at her exes on Facebook, and we were only together for a couple of months in our first apartment. And I was thinking, like, what? There was a drill instructor one time, and he says, are you looking at me? Do you like me? Because if you're looking at me, that means you like me. And if you like me, you want to fuck me. You know, he went crazy like that. Just completely overboard. Excuse my language. And so I was like, you know, you're liking what you're looking at, you know, and she wasn't honest about it. So right off the bat, I saw this dishonesty, and from there, I was always kind of like, I in the back of my head, I could never get over it. I was always like, what the hell's gonna happen from here? You know, like, what, you know, because she would do this when I wasn't home, and it made me. She would call me jealous, but it really made me like double step, you know, think about who you are. Are you crazy, you know? Are you overreacting, or is what you're thinking right? Learn from the behavior, not yours but others. Tim says, not what your red flags are. Yeah. Angie goes, 2 years after living with my ex, he was looking at secret folders on his Facebook of his ex in naked poses. Yeah, see, I can't stand that. That shit is just, it's trifling. It's just, then her and the new girl, both skinny blondes. Here I am. Hey, big grande bube brunette. There's nothing wrong with that. Nah, Angie, you're you know, I've seen you on Facebook before. You got it going on. Take it easy. I just gotta. Yeah, it's sad what people do. You know, it's sad what people do to other people because they don't want to be honest and just be honest. I'm someone's type somewhere. You know, I fully believe that there's always somebody out there. Man, when I was in high school, we used to smoke so much weed. I was such a freaking stupid pothead, and like, I would tell the boys, guys, if we looked for freshies as much as we looked for pot, you know, if we went out and looked for girls instead of sitting around being some skeezy stoners, I said, we would have so many kids. Like, it was a true fact. I remember saying that though, like, if we spent as much effort as we do into smoking a bowl, dude, we would have a great, big, giant family. Tim, I still do. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. CK, yeah, I'm good. I'm just chilling. I just couldn't sleep, and I didn't want to lay in bed with my eyes open, so I felt like I would just talk to a camera about my feelings. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Right now, I feel a lot better than I did before I came in here. But Angie and Tim have just been kind of chilling and listening to me mumble about about heartache and maybe making better choices for myself and other people. Yeah. Because I definitely ain't trying to make better choices for other people. That's too tough for me right there. I think that you got to be responsible for something, some actions. So, yeah, long story short, me and my wife were getting a divorce. She was unfaithful in my eyes. She was unfaithful. And it just got so out of control. It did, and I got so disgusted, so mad. I when you think you know somebody after 10 years, you don't. You don't. It takes a lot longer than that to actually get to know somebody. And the hard thing is, as you get older and you grow more, you change. Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna hold on to it. But the feeling is just like when you were played a fool. Ha, psych, I got you. It's like, oh no, you won the game, or whatever. It's not. It's not. I'm just trying to speak about it like metaphorically, but it's all a part of life and the experiences in life. It's all part of who you are. It's all part of learning. It's a lot. It's a lot. I could see why some people would want to try to tap out, but at the same time, life is so sweet. It's so good. Like, the air sometimes can be so fresh. Sometimes the music's really good. Sometimes the people are so great. So it's, what do they say? Bittersweet. Yeah. Life is like a box of chocolates. How does he say it? Let me see. How does he say this? I forgot. Who can quote that? Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, I think is what he said. I better not play this right now because I'm about to get copyrighted. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. No, I got to say that's not right because they got those box of chocolates. Thank you, Angie. I'm seriously, I'm thinking about, because I've been so out of the streaming it's been like almost a year. I waited 2 years to get this high-speed internet. I get this fiber optic, 1 gigabyte super duper Superman speed internet, and I blow it off. I don't even take the opportunity to stream because I'm in this crazy toxic environment that I'm like, I just, I don't have time for it. I don't want to do it. I just didn't. It's so sad. I waited so damn long to get this. And then I almost wasted it. Never know what you're going to get. Yeah, I almost wasted it. But it's crazy. I'm going to look back at this video 10 years from now and think, damn, bro. Dang, man. I want to make a memory right now. That's what this is for. A memory for reflection. I keep saying that. It's just what I'm doing. I just want to... It's going to be crazy to watch this one. It's going to be wild. And the amazing thing is, like, who knows what the future has in store? Who knows what's going to happen? Who's going to do what and where life's going to take us? And you can walk that walk with your head down, or you can walk that walk with your head high. You know? And a lot of choices. A lot of choices that have a lot of consequences, positive, negative. Angie says, not even joking, but we all were locked up. Then life changed. She goes, I hate this for you. I remember you all talking about pancakes and your meds. Yeah. Yeah, it was it could have been a really great family, you know? We just both gave up, you know? That's it. That's just the bottom line. Like it turned into a job, it turned into work, it turned into, you know, do I have to do this? Like, do I... It turned into bad. And it never got better. We just gave up. We gave up. It's alright though. Because just because you give up in a relationship doesn't mean you got to give up on life. And that's like I said earlier, I'm not giving up. I'm not trying to reach out to drugs or alcohol or you know, anything crazy. I want to embrace these feelings and have them make me stronger in the future. Angie says, your wife going to work, you'd be with the girls streaming before they woke up at 6 a.m.? Yeah. I remember that. It's crazy. That last ex, he was in a 20-year and a 6-year failed marriage. Tim says, it was always not great. You're just not pretending anymore. Yeah, man, it's hard, man, you know. Angie goes, so he swore off of marriage. So he didn't want commitment. So I got the unfair end of that stick. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, we're still young, Angie. Like, that's the great thing. The last thing I want right now is to get into another relationship, because I don't even want to go through the ups and downs. Like, I couldn't even I can't even think about what I don't, it makes me like just I don't even know. And it's not even heartbreak, it's just like I need a break from, you know, trying for somebody else. I just want to try for myself for a little bit. Angie says, like, punish the next girl for what the ex did. I told him, don't get me physically attached. I can't help where my heart goes. Yeah, that's something that I definitely want to not bring to my next relationship. Like, I don't want to talk about, I'm not talking about right now, but I'm talking about like if I was in a new, I don't want to even, I could, that's, yeah, it's just, it's baffles my head right now. Like, if I was in a relationship, like right now, I would be talking about this to someone who's probably thinking, why can't we build something? Why are you talking about that? Like, it wouldn't, it literally couldn't work for me. She says, then I fell in love and he just wanted the physical. Yeah. So I walked away and he's all like, you're going to text tons of guys now. Huh. Shit, really? I didn't I didn't seduce him. I didn't want that. I just wanted a friend. And he turned into a lover, then a love. Now I'm broken over someone who didn't want it. Yeah. A lot of people don't want to put in the work. They just want the easy, Not saying you're easy, okay? But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of, all right, let me go over there and wait for you, or I don't know. It takes a lot to be in a relationship, and most people can't. My ex-wife was already divorced when I first met her, and well, she was still married. She told me. She was really honest about it too when I first met her. She was like, "I'm still married, but I haven't been with him for 2 years," and I'm like, why are you still married? Like, why aren't you divorced yet? Like, I helped her. I didn't pay for it, but I helped her with her divorce when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and that should have been a damn red flag for me right there. Like, not that she was divorced, but that she was that responsible about her business. Marriage, I used to think it was, something of a biblical sense. Like, we get married under the eyes of God, and you can't cheat, because if you cheat, we're married and you're gonna go to hell, or some when you get married, you're bonded by these sacred, and people do not have that respect anymore for themselves. They don't think they're the values. They don't appreciate what our grandparents, and our great grandparents worked so hard for us to do and get. People are just, I'm just talking about the divorced people, because I am one now. They don't take those vows seriously. Like, I bet if it was like, if you guys cuss at each other, we're gonna chop your finger off, or if you hit one another or you cuss at one another, we're gonna chop your arm off. I bet then people would take it a little more seriously, but no, they're just, no. Angie says, I get it. I brought him a cappuccino, or get the beers from his boat trip I wasn't invited to. Whew. His friends didn't like me, so he left me out of a ton of outings. And I tried to be cool about it. Bring lunch to his job just to see him. Clean his whole house. Just everything his ex-wife didn't do. Tim, I want some lunch, Angie. Pretty please. Yeah. That's crazy. I can't think of, like, besides paying, making money, like, she didn't do anything for me. She would cook dinner because the kids, they needed dinner. And most of the time it was like, you go get Taco Bell. Go buy Culver's. Go get McDonald's. Go get Panda Express. Go get Arby's. Go get Chipotle. I swear to God, it was like that. I'm like, my kids right now completely hate fast food. I don't know what kid hates fast food. My kids straight up are like, we want a home cooked meal. I'm like, what's this? What's wrong with you kids? Yeah, she didn't do anything. She didn't clean the house. She did laundry. Like, she would leave the laundry in the washing machine and run it again and again, run the dryer 2 or 3 times because there was no. Not saying she did laundry for me because that was her cleaning her clothes too. She didn't. God damn, now that I'm thinking about this, man, that's crazy. She didn't do anything for me. And I'm not trying to be selfish about this, right? I'm not trying to be selfish at all. But like, she didn't rub my back. She didn't clean the house. I cleaned the house. She never picked up the dog shit. Not saying that a woman should do that, right? But she literally, what? One time her dad came over, she picked up the dog shit then because dad was coming over, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why are you picking up the dog shit? You never do that. Oh, my dad's coming over. So I've seen her do things for her dad, which I'm not trying to compare me to dad, right? Not by any chance. But, yeah, I never, years, that's so crazy. That's so crazy. I gave full body massages. Yeah, like, I mean, I that is what's so crazy right now. She thinks like she paid the bills for me, but like everybody lived here. She did it for us. There was nothing she did for me. Nothing. Like, and I'm not talking about buying shit, right? Because that's not, like, she never, like, I'm trying to be real right now. Damn, this is, like, really striking me right now. I'm trying to think about, like, her as a good person and, like, I would go into her restaurant, but I would go and eat. But that's not her doing anything for me, that's just me getting some free food because she works there. Like the kitchen would cook it, or her friend would. She never sat down. I would go into her work. She never sat down, and we never like talked, and like I was kind of weird too. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, the support was just like. It was not there, Angie. And yeah, I guess that it does. That's so strange, though. That's so weird that you, like, I'm not saying put my shoes on my feet for me. I'm not that type of a guy. You put my socks on my feet. But she never did. No, she never put gas in the car for me, which, again, I'm just talking about buying shit, Oh, my God. And we're talking, like, years. I go over to my neighbor's house and weed eat her yard for her so it looks good, Do something for her. I go up to the dumpsters in the park and pick up trash so that, not just me, but the people in the park, we don't have to live in trash. I'm doing something for someone like that. Not money. I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it so we can, like, be the best we can be. God damn. This is blowing my mind. Read my last comment, says Tim. Okay. We carried her out of the comedy club. Oh, shit. Man, this girl gets so drunk in the comedy club, Angie. When I first met her, we go to this little bar, okay? We hit up this bar. We do some drinks. These are some strong-ass drinks, too. And this was before I found out I had MS. So I was crazy for doing this, too. But so we get all buzzing, and I'm talking like on a level. And then we go to this place called Laughs Comedy Club. Me and Tim and Lyndall. And, dude, that was the night Tim eats a shrimp, okay? And he eats the part of the tail, too. And he's like, bro, I think I just ate the tail. And I'm like, yeah, you did, man. It's gone, man. We went to this all-you-can-eat buffet, and there's potato chips. Like, there's no buffet. There's literally some brown guacamole and maybe a taquito, a couple pieces of shrimp, and some tortilla chips. That was the buffet, all you could eat. So we get plastered. We go to this Laughs Comedy Club right afterwards, and they're giving us more drinks, And she starts getting crazy. Like, she literally heckled the comedian. And the comedian on stage is like, la 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 la. He does his joke, right? And then she is like, I don't get it. Like, this like stuck up valley girl, right? I don't get it. And he's like, I don't get it. And everybody starts laughing at her. And I'm like, damn. And Tim tells me, hey, Stone, you need to calm her down a little bit. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, give her a tranquilizer shot. We were just fresh. We had just started dating. And then she puts her head down on the table. She's got her head down and her hair is all over the table, right? And all I hear is, and I'm talking a comedy club is like, people are tight, they're back to back to back to back all the way to the stage. And we were at this table, and she literally threw up a lot. She threw up so much, and she's got it all in her hair. And I just told Tim straight up. I told Tim, I said, we got to get her out of here. And she's a big girl. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm tough. I'm a tough dude, But she's a big girl, She's like 160, 5'8" or 5'9", whatever. She's tall. And I'm like, dude, you're going to have to grab her shoulders. You're going to have to grab her shoulders, and I'll grab her legs. And we're carrying her out, right? And everybody's looking at me and Tim like, why are you carrying out this pretty girl? Like, what's wrong with? What the fuck are you guys doing? And I'm telling the security, she threw up at that table. I'm taking her home right now. And people were just, I got this feeling they were all like, oh, you guys are going to go sneak her off and, do what bad college boys do. And it was nothing like that. And then finally, when they realized we're trying to carry her out of the club and we're both embarrassed, the guy comes up to me and he's like, here's a ticket. You can come back free, or come back free. And we laid her in the back seat, and I'm not proud of driving after that, but I drove home and she threw up in my back seat, and it was a mess. That was just a freaking mess. And yeah, it was when we first got together. Man, there was a lot of red flags there. Let me just say this right now. There's a lot of red flags. She did a lot of things for what would be her stepdaughter, my daughter Abby. Buying her clothes, and I don't know if that's her way of doing something for me, but she never. Man, I cannot get over that. That's fucking crazy. Tim. Yeah, dude, I don't want to ever go back to that night, dude. Freaking ridiculous. I still can't get over the fact where, and I'm not trying to be selfish about this, okay? I'm not trying to be selfish at all. You know, I'm trying to focus on my feeling right here and beating the shit out of it and you know, working by, you know, work on to the next one. I'm not talking about females. I'm talking about just life and emotions and okay, you know, feel it, embrace it, you know, work through it, and then poof, you know, you're a better person, you're stronger. But yeah, she didn't do shit for me. God damn, that kind of pisses me off. She liked to freaking pop my pimples on my back. I would hate that shit. I'd get out of the shower, and the only time she would touch me, I swear to God, the only time she would touch me, she'd walk past me and like look at my back, and then she'd like go in for the kill, and I'm like, you know, get the fuck off of me. That hurts. What are you doing? Leave it alone. It's one thing if I got a thorn in my hand and I need you to grab some tweezers and pull that shit out. It's another when you're like picking at my body because you've got some picking issues, you know. I don't know. I need to work on standards. Amen to that. I think that's what I'm going to take from this. I don't need to hire my standards, but I just need to make sure that if and when, if is a good thing right here. If I ever do get into another relationship, this girl has got to be, I don't care what she looks like, right? It's not what it's about. This girl has got to be the 100%, like when she looks in the mirror, she's like staring in the mirror and she's like, I am 100% of myself. I take great care of myself. I respect myself. And that's me, you know. I don't need someone who is, I don't want to say broken because that's not fair, you know. Everybody's got their own issues. But even someone who's not, you know, even someone who's going through some stuff, I think that they can still be 100% of themselves. Like me, for instance, you know, instead of going out and buying a pack of cigarettes, go hit the gym, you know, or instead of going and getting all drunk and trying to forget about my feelings and popping a bunch of pills, you know, focus on your feelings, reflect on yourself, be a better person, you know, like that's what I mean by 100% of yourself. You know, try to be the best you that you can be is what I keep telling myself, man. You know, and I've been doing that for a while. I've been going pretty hard, like taking care of myself, like good, like no smoking. When I do drink, I don't drink a lot. If I do drink, it's pretty rare. So I'm trying to really work on just handling life, you know, and loving life and being me. And so far it's been great. I haven't had any problems except for this, you know, where you know, I get hit out of left field with well, I'm not going to get like it wasn't a left field type of thing, I guess. I should have seen it sooner, but I'm not the type of guy that wants to go looking through your phone. I just don't, it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't, I believe if you go looking for a fight, you know, you can go anywhere and look for a fight. You can find one. I don't want that. I want some trust, you know, I want to trust. Angie says, I don't smoke or drink. Ooh, Angie. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, you got to make an ugly woman your wife. What? No, I don't know that song. I helped one ex go into rehab. Helped him get full disability. Then he dumped me and got a new girlfriend. I'm tired of being that nice all the time. Finding damaged men everywhere. Yeah, that's... Don't settle for less. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, you got to make an ugly woman your wife. I don't think any women are ugly. I think ugly comes from within, And ugly would be like someone who's not honest with themselves. You can someone. What really makes a person is what you do when no one else is around. That's the bottom line, and that's what can make you ugly or not ugly. Because there's some bad things that can happen in the dark, and there's some bad things that can happen when you're by yourself and you're thinking, what am I gonna do? What's going on here? It's and I get it, it's not always pretty all the time. Not everybody's always gonna be the best to be around. Tim, I'm damaged nicely. Thank you. Yeah. And you said, ones who blossomed late or didn't own their self-confidence, we are super pleasers. We make up for looks with actions. I mean, I'm not the most attractive guy out there, so I definitely can't be looking for no... I'm not trying to find some super babe who's totally conceited, and I never wanted that. I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about my ex, but she wasn't the prettiest girl in the world, you know what I mean? But, when we first met, we both worked at the same restaurant. It's funny. And I asked her one time, I said, want to be my Valentine? And she's like, no, my dad's my Valentine. Okay, cool, whatever. A couple weeks go by or whatever, and then she, we passed each other on the road, and she calls me, and she's like, what are you doing, And I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm at Tim's watching a movie. You want to come over? And she's like, yeah. And that's when it started. That's when it all started. And, I was just trying to be a nice guy and be like, hey, want to be my Valentine? Like, I wasn't trying to, I don't know. So yeah, we met there and that was that, but I don't know. I look at that time in our lives and then I come back to like today, we are two completely different people today than what we were that. And don't get me wrong, I know people grow and they change, but it is so crazy how much differently we both are from then to now, because it is a huge drastic change. I went from being some skeezy stoner to a gym going rat. She went from, I guess she's still kind of the same person today, back then. Well, no, because when I first met her, she didn't smoke and she wasn't like a hard drinker. And I'd say that today she's a smoker and she's a drinker for sure. So she definitely changed in that area. But that's what I mean. I guess we're both. See, I was like that when I was younger, and then I don't know. I grew up and was like, it's not fun to hide your feelings with, oh, I'm not feeling good, I'm gonna go smoke pot, or I'm going to go drink a beer because I need to feel better. Like, I did that for so long. And I got so down that it wasn't good. It was not good at all. It was horrible. I was like, man, there would be some nights I'd be up walking around like, what am I doing with my life? What am I here for? What's going on? And then I got sick. I started throwing up and choking. It was weird. I started choking to death. I don't know if it was die or whatever, but I guess not to death because I'm still alive. But it took me choking a couple times and just thinking like, what is, like, when you have a disability and you wake up and you feel good, you can really, really, really fucking appreciate feeling good. You don't need to go smoke. You don't need to go drink. You don't need to go party. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. But I'm talking about feeling good. Like, you really see that when you're disabled and you wake up and you're like, dang, man, today my arms work. My legs work. I can see straight. You know, I can think okay. I can speak. I can hear. You know, you really value things that, I guess, people who aren't disabled take for granted. You know, they're feeling like they just got off work and they need to drink a 6-pack and you know, this is what they need to feel better. That's where, I don't know. That's where I became a better person. It's for sure there. I don't know. This is crazy. Crazy situation to be in. And anybody else, Angie, you know, anybody else too that's ever been in this situation, you know, is it commend you? It's not easy. You know, realizing what you did right, what you did wrong. It's not easy to own up to being wrong. That's not easy at all. And I can say that I wasn't right in this relationship for many reasons, but particularly, you know, because of my choices, you know, from it being the person I chose to be with to being the person I chose to be. And really reflecting on that and seeing that and noticing that, I can just say, you know, thank time and thank the good people out in the world. I think I'm getting tired now from all this mumbling. This mumble jumbling. Yeah, I man. Blah, 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 blah. I feel a little better. How long have I been talking for? Jeez. Angie says, I gotta go. Cool. 4 a.m. Go to bed. You gotta go. You need to go to bed. Good night, Angie. Thank you for always hanging out and being a true friend. Honestly. 2 hours of talking about nothing. How crazy. We're all gonna be okay, huh? I realize I would rather be wrong than lose a good partner. But I also don't want to work hard on a relationship. It's not an equal partnership. Yeah. Thanks, Angie. For sure, I'm going to make this pop next week. This is just kind of one of these sporadical things. Well, that's wonderful to hear, Angie. Thank you. I missed you too. I missed you too. No. Thank you, though, for real. It'll be cool to figure out. I don't know what games I want to play next. What do you think? I don't know. Get some ideas, maybe. I definitely don't want to be playing no PlayStation games, too. I'm yawning like crazy now. I think I'm tired. I think I'm tired. But I don't care. I gotta wake up in a little bit. Slime Rancher? That's pretty cool. Call of Duty? Yeah. Alright. That's pretty cool. Slime Rancher. Huh. Call of Duty. I'm not the best, but I think I'm good enough to make some videos on it. But I like playing that for fun, because I know the second I turn it into a job, it's going to be like, oh, what's wrong with these guys? I hate this game. You know, I'm just going to get all, I'm going to get crazy with it. Crazy with it. Call of Duty's like that one game, like, holy crap. Gosh, jeez. Yeah, Call of Duty's like that one game, like it's like GTA, you know. Just you keep going back to it because it's got so many memories, and it's such a good game. But I don't know. Cool. Well, Angie, play Minecraft. Ooh, I am not playing Minecraft. I did not buy this cool computer to play some games that don't have sweet graphics. I guess you could call me like a graphics whore, basically. I don't want to play some, not Minecraft, but I just don't want to play any indie games either where they're like, I don't know, just chintzy. Andrew, what is it? Her and her friend, they use the phones. That's funny, you know. That's what Laurel was doing actually. And talk for hours yelling about materials the other has or teleporting them. They talk for 8 hours? What the sheesh? Oh, hey. That's crazy. That is crazy. Remember back when there wasn't unlimited minutes, like your phone plan had minutes? Man, imagine that today. We went from having 1,400 minutes or, 2,000 minutes on a plan to unlimited? Unlimited. Use as many as you want for as long as you want. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm going to go to bed. Love you guys. And I'll try to pop off a stream tomorrow. Just for fun. Something simple, something cool. Tim, a pager. Heck yeah. Good night for sure. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again for hanging out with me while I was going through this. I'm going to remember this. Building memories. Good night.